Hey guys, Pat297.9 here. Gonna bring to you today a little quick review on the Lansky Master Edge knife sharpener, medium and fine ceramic grit rod. So here's the product itself. As you guys can see, I already got some rods out. I got my triangular rod out because if I place it in there, it's gonna contact the floor, and it's not gonna give me a good result. So if I try to push it in there, so as you guys can see, I turn it over and it's wobbly. So design issues from Lansky, lots of design issues that I'm gonna talk about real quick, try to get that out of the way. So first of all, the way that the ceramics are held underneath is just by friction on a little piece of rubber that are cut out, and you just press it in there, or try to press it in there, and then you got your other rods that you place right here. So you just push them in there and just held by friction, so which is not good. If it's just held by friction alone, the rubber is going to wear out, and you're just going to flip it upside down like that, and you're just gonna work it out, and boom, it's just gonna fall. It's gonna fall into some ceramics or tile flooring, and boom, it's gonna break your ceramic rod. So Lansky, why didn't you just make some by the way, this is a the intellectual property, and the ideas I'm gonna give you is not free. So if you want to use it, you just contact me and we'll get to some arrangement. So why didn't you just do some sliding doors that would just cover those part of the ceramic rods here? Just some little sliding doors or flipping doors that you just clamp in there, and just clips on the side here that you just clamp it over, and just covers just the end of the ceramic rods, just the end, so it retains it inside just so much better. Right now it's just held by friction, and right now it's holding, but I wouldn't trust this. I wouldn't really not trust the just the retention on that. Second part that I'm going to talk about for the flaws that I would have liked to seen fixed, because I thought this was going to be better than that, but it might be slightly better, but not a lot, than my regular crock stick. So depending if you want to add a little bit more money, depending on how much you're going to pay the regular crock stick, if you can find this thing under $30, I mean, like literally $25, $26, buy it. Compared to this, if this thing is $18, $17, $18, and this thing's $25, I would say go with that one. You're just gonna have some longer rods and longer ceramics and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna place the angles. As you guys can see, it fits in relatively easy. You don't have to use a lot of friction. It just drops in there, and whoops, here we go, boom, it's just in there. But that little wobble and that little inconsistency in the rods just pissed me off, man. It's like my regular crock stick. So I thought that thing was gonna be better than my regular crock stick, but apparently it's not. So another second part of the intellectual properties I'm gonna give Lansky is why did you make a little vise on each side, a little lever that you just squeeze in place? You just shorten that little cutout here, you just make it shorter, you just put a space there, maybe a couple of sliding piece of I don't know, you just put some stuff in here, and you just put a little clamp just to clamp those ceramic rod in place so they don't move at all. So you can just do those little cutouts here a little bit more acute, so that they're kind of an angle like a triangle, and just it would press it in there and that thing wouldn't move. So just a little clamping system, click, and you just clamp those ceramic rods in place, get rid of that movement, get rid of that inconsistency when you're sharpening, and then you're good. So I only see people buying the Master Edge for two reasons, only two reasons. The added 17-degree angles for your knives, so for chef's knives and stuff like that. As you guys can see here, you got 17, 20, 25 degrees, and this thing is for sharpening serrations with the triangular cutout. So as you guys, I only see guys buying that for that. This is one of the reasons, the extra angle, the 17-degree angle. The second reason is the longer rods for the crock stick. So this is the size difference of the rod. So it's almost twice the length of the normal rod. So yeah, a little bit longer, so you can sharpen larger knives, no problems. So this is the second reason that I would see you buying this thing, for the longer rods and like I said, the extra angle that you get. But you know, when I bought this thing, I thought this thing was going to be better than a Spyderco Sharpmaker, but I still think the Sharpmaker is a little bit better than this one, because of the versatility. You got a triangular stick, you got multiple angles, and you got the option to buy another ceramic rods that's going to be even finer, close to 2000 I think grit, or 1500 grit for Spyderco. I would like Lansky to do something similar. And speaking of grit, how many grits is the white one? From my experience, the old white ones are close to these ones, maybe because they're worn, they're well used, but these things are smooth, so it's gonna give you a really really acute edge, a really sharp edge. This is gonna give you more of a toothy edge. So if the other one is 1000 to 1200, this one is closer to 800 grit. So maybe, like I said, because it's new, I don't know, or inconsistency from Lansky for the sharpening rods, but the white ones are close to 800. So for sure it's under 1000 grit. So of grit for the ceramic stone. So the other one is closer to 400 to 600, the gray ones, which are underneath, but this is the same grit. So the gray are 400 and the other ones are 800. So this is giving you an idea, close to 400. So let's say between, let's say 300 to 400 grit, but I think more closer to 400. So it's around those parts. So it doesn't go above 1000 grit. So for the sharp master edge sharpener. So you know, for as far as sharpening, let's do a little comparison real quick. This is just a basic knife that I need to reprofile to 17 degree because I want it to be sharper. So usually I use my work sharp. This is just so much faster and so much easier to play with. But this thing doesn't use any power, so no electricity, which is one of the good things. If you're out in the woods or there's an EMP strike and you need to sharpen your knife, like that shit hits the fan, well, you have a sharpening. So as you guys can see, look at the rods. Look at the angle. You know, I'm putting a little bit of pressure, it's moving. So the angle aren't super stable. So it doesn't move too much when you're actually going down. But when you're putting the pressure on, I mean, it's going to be a little bit inconsistent in your angles of sharpening. So it's becoming a little bit sharper because I play with it. This is the second time I'm doing this video. But anyways, let's just compare it to the regular crock stick, shall we? So I'm just going to give you guys a small demonstration of the other ones. Try not to cut myself here. So let's look at the rods. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see a little bit better. So here we go. So let's see with this one. So this one, it almost moves less, and even though they got some movement, when you put some pressure, it's pretty consistent. They don't move laterally a little bit, so it's pretty good for my old crock stick that I've used so much. It's pretty good. So my final thoughts on this is, if you have a regular crock stick right here, I mean, unless you want the larger rods and the 17 degree angles, it's not worth buying. If you're looking for something to just sharpen knives occasionally, and you don't have a crock stick, you don't want to spend the extra money for the Spyderco Sharpmaker, sure, this is a good solution. You get one more angle, 17 degrees, and you get longer rods, and you get that little triangular rod shape for sharpening hooks and a couple things you can do with that. So sharpening serration too. So you can do a couple of things with this triangular rod. So but personally, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. Maybe I'll keep it to play around with it, so I can leave my crock stick in the car and just maybe in the house, so in my fishing kit, maybe something like that. So you know, maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't. I don't know. It's $45. It's kind of expensive for what you get. I wish it would be a little bit better. So if Lansky are listening, you want to just make this thing a little bit better. The handguard, that's a pretty good, cool idea. But as far as the storage, a little bit dumb in my opinion. Could be a little bit better than that. So just pressure fit like that, especially for the triangular one. Triangular doesn't seems to be holding as good, and it's not really holding in place too good. So it's kind of annoying for that. So you're trying to just press it in there, it doesn't work. So anyways, I'm gonna have to play with that afterwards. So maybe I'll build myself a little something, or just make some modification myself. But just a little tab on each side to cover, just a little bit of rubber. You don't care if it rattles around a little bit, but as long as it's just covered on both hands, so it just cannot go around and just, you know, exit the sharpener. Otherwise, if you loosen that and you drop that from, let's say, a few feet, 3-4 feet high on hardwood floor, I mean ceramic floor, tile floor, or granite or whatever, your ceramic rod is pretty much screwed, so it's gonna break in half. So you just have to be careful with that. And the second part, which I would just enhance, is a little retention system here, just a little clamping system that you just put the rods in there and you just clamp it in place on the other side, and it just won't move. The rods are going to be stable, and this would make this a sharpener that would be 10 out of 10. Maybe one more extra, you could just, Lansky, you know, you could sell an extra set of rods with a finer grit, something around 1500, so you could just go get that really razor edge out of your just your basic kitchen knives or your pocket knives or whatever. So this is my thought on the Master Edge. Like I said, I'm gonna have to take that off because it's gonna fall. So this is my little review on the Lansky Master Edge knife sharpener. So if you already get the crock stick, I say save your money and buy yourself something like a work sharp. Or if you don't have a crock stick and you're looking for this one for the longer rods and the 17-degree angle, and you can find it for $20 something, less than $30, then buy it. It would be probably something good that you could add to your arsenal. So hope you guys enjoyed this review, which I know I've talked a little bit too long and, you know, did a little bit more you know, rambling that I would like, but hopefully you guys still enjoy it, and it'll help you in your buying decision if you're gonna buy this sharpener. So let me guys know what you think in the comment. If you like this video, like always, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, tell them to subscribe. More people viewing my videos, the more I can buy stuff like that nobody is reviewing yet. And you know, if you see something that I should, you know, look at to review and there's not many people doing reviews on, just let me know and I'll look at it. If it's good, if it's something I need, I'll buy it and I'll just do a review on it. So hope you guys enjoy, and I see you guys on the next one.